Hello friends, welcome back. In this quick demo, we are discussing how the bids and the asks for a given instrument accumulate to create the bias for buy-sell control zone. On the top, we have the collection of bids and asks converted into bars along with our trending bands. So idea is pretty simple. When the sellers are hitting the bid, we accumulate that, and when the buyers are aggressive, they're hitting the ask and lifting the bid. So this is just the representation of bid and ask in a chart format. If you look at the bottom, here we have bar by bar who controlled that bar and which direction is holding the power at this moment. So this is done in a histogram fashion, this is done in an accumulation fashion, and this is called cumulative delta. Which side is the market drifting, who is in control? And the way we use that, this is an example of ES. So what we do is we have to put these two instruments, these two data lines next to each other so we can see a couple of patterns here. So we can trade this. So on the top, I just noted that we have these bands for the cumulative delta. When you are below the mean, the sellers are in control. So your job is to just take shots. At this close of this bar, you can just see that here, precisely when it closed below the mid, two lines are mid lines, you can just see that red lines. At the close, right there, we take a shot. And we only take shots. So we had this profound information take us down for close to 30 points. We also draw trend lines. The third touch is very strong. It is angular tops, double tops, double bottoms, angular tops. This is also M pattern showing up here. If you can see that, we can also do an early entry by curve fitting the line to the starting pivot and the middle pivot, M part of it, and then the break also of this, and the third touch of this is good entry right there. So this bid and ask structure is the one which creates the top and bottom pivots, and we know which direction they are going. If you want to be the guy who I just told you to wait for this to close under the mid band, then your short was qualified. Break of this pivot, same place, same location. Here also break of this low pivot, break of this low pivot, better confirmation, and then we roll it down. Now this whole thing is one day event. So you got two great shots based on this logic. Here it closed above the two red line. Here also it closed. So this one was not a tradable scenario, which we don't know, and here is the pivot break. And the close. So it was double bottom on this cumulative delta. It held, and you can just see it held, and this is again an early entry. So by doing just the pure technical analysis of channels, trend lines, we talked about a few other things like shift channels. I can also do trading channels, and then retest of those critical points will help you take the bias towards the buy side or the sell side. And this is just the description of what is happening underneath the price. All right. Other part is when we go to the extreme of the bands, these bands here and here, there's also a probability of turn. But what we do is we always qualify this. So trend line is drawn. We need to break it and close above it. This is what we said, even the buyers try to pull it up, but the price did not do much. It was probably a time they're waiting for some news or something, or some event. It was in sideways action on the price level, as you can just see here. So the bids were trying to lift and hit the offer, but it may not have been, it may be just a light volume, right? But this move will still happen even there are 20 buyers on sellers, or there may be 2 million buyers and sellers, right? So low volume probabilities are there to be careful about. Unless, again, I told you the third touch, just do a trend line. This is the bottom, second bottom, third bottom are stronger. So you can do this and get some edge in your trading. Now you can see the cumulative delta went lower and lower. It created 3 new low pivots. But if you look at the price, actual price, it is doing a triple bottom. One, two, and three. So you have to compare the top shape and the bottom real price on the double tops and double bottoms, and look for all the technical divergences. And so right now these two made lower low pivot, so did the price. So there's no divergence here, right? This guy made lower low. On the price we made higher high on the third touch. So you got some move, and buyers held this low. Now this is all just one day event, but if you want to just take easier the band approach, short is activated here and you say short, and now they are sloping down, pull back. Same thing to the blue line. If you have seen the video of the scanner, it goes to the blue line on a downtrend, confirmed, short again. So you're adding this edge towards your trading. Here go long, here back to go short. Let me just mark it. This was a short, this was long. It is not projecting where it is going, it is just telling you that the wave of buyers and sellers are behind you. Let's look at the trend. Now this whole trend has been down only quite some time. Okay, so at this point, starting here, we are getting some downward pressure. Is coming down, is hitting the top blue lines. Okay, this channel is flat, but we don't know what's going to happen. So initially, the risk is always the initial trade. So we go down, we go short. You draw the pivots bottoms. It is attempting to go short. It didn't close below this, no problem. It is holding, it closed here. Now it is drifting down, and the downtrend is now confirmed because the slope is also heading to the downside. So this was the trigger for going short. Went back to test it again, came back. All right. Draw the trend lines. One touch, 1, 2, 3. The third one is very strong, as you can see. So if you wait for this, what I'm showing you, you have less headaches. So when the third touch happened on this cumulative delta, you can take a shot and you get 30 points. So this is how you can just, so this day you got 30 points. This day you got 30 points. So now let's see this day, what happened here. Again, the trend, looking at this, is just down only. So when it is going so strong, it is even leaving the bands. Where does it go to? The blue, retest the center point. Again, center point. And if you want to go anti-trend, you have to wait for the trend line break. So we have this trend line going down, touching the tops. It broke here. You got some scalp here. Trend is down, anti-trend. And you can short again here. So now again divergences are coming again, higher, higher, higher. The higher high pivots are showing up here, but here the pivots are not going in that direction. Third touch, you can short again, and there we go, and you get a short here. Okay, so let's do this again. 1, 2, and 3. The third touch. Now you can see this very easily with the, let it confirm it, because the downtrend is going, it is basing here, goes back to test it. The buyers and sellers resolve. Third touch again, short. So we need to have a pivot break, which happened here, and this is the last pivot break, close. You get some points here, 10 points. So this is simply understanding the buyers and sellers and how they are behaving, and we use bid and ask manipulation to do that. So that, I think, was the quick demo of how you can do the cumulative delta and use the third touch. 1, 2, and 3. If that is all 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, right? So this is, just keep on drawing the trend lines. Keep on drawing the trend lines. Third touch short is coming. When you wait for the immediately previous pivot to be broken, you can just see there's a V shape, the V or inverted V. That is the shape we are talking about. So here, V shape break. On the other side also same thing, V shape. This is the V shape, inverted V shape. Break of that, go long. So this is where we have the pivot confirmation, the pivot breakout comes from, and we can see behind the scene what's happening with this cumulative delta. Let's quickly do one last one. So look for third touch across the bands. First of all, simply going short below this is a short triggered. And you can see the pivots here, the V shape. This V shape is broken. Wait for this close below this. So the at the end of this guy, you just enter and you take a shot. This is also your one touch, two touch, third touch. So they all align. This is how you have to detect the patterns. So that's it. This is a simpler way to do this. Now we are outside the band. Higher risk entries are right here. Break off it. And then you wait for the pivot on the price to break. This is the pivot, inverted V. This is a pivot, break of that is a confirmation. It went up, held, everything comes together. You take a long trade. So what is this all about? I think look at this data. This is cumulative delta using the ticks, or you can also, and then we are doing this breakdown by bid versus ask traded. And I think you all should know what that is, bid versus ask. What is lifting a bid, lowering the ask, hitting the bid, hitting the ask, who is in control. And we are using 6666 contract regular change just to create the rate of change of cumulative delta. So I hope this alone will help you tremendously. Now this is again third touch. 1, 2, 3, third touch is there, right? Always. So every day the story unfolds just the same way. Third touch. Now this is a strong divergence. Price made lower low. The bids were holding them. You can see third touch compared to this guy versus this guy. There's a divergence. There's a strength in the system. So what you can do? Same thing. Get the V, inverted V, which is right here. Wait for the pivot to break. You can see the same pattern happens. When this starts, they hold it for a while. They hold it above the pivot break and then take off. You can watch this video again. Same thing here. Same thing here. Same thing here. Break, hold. See that? After they break it, they're holding it, accumulating the contracts. Boom. After they break it, holding the accumulation is going on, building the contracts, building the contract base, explosion. Same thing here. The V break, they're holding. So after the break happens, they're holding. And they're doing contract collections right there. Right there. Right there. So I gave you everything you needed to know, and this is just ES chart. and you should be able to take this, use it. I hope get some benefit from it. And you can do it on any time frame. The buyers and sellers are always expressing themselves in all time frames. There's nothing to do what I just showed you in terms of time. We're discussing the bid and ask. So this is 1, 2, and 3. I can do this 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And this is if you just do this 1, and this is 2, this is a third shot. And these are early shots. Then what do you do? Wait for this break. What do you expect? You already set the expectation. V shape. This is also V shape, correct? This is small v. This is also v. This is small v. This is the pivot, immediate pivot. We are looking at the pivot exactly at the same spot where we are about to go short using this third touch on the cumulative delta. And there is the short. They accumulate, take down 20 points, 10 points, 15 points. Now you can do this on a larger time frame, 4-hour charts. You can get larger points. You can do on daily to get multi-week points. Same thing. The flow is the different participant doing different things, and then the confirmed entry shot is here. Now the trend is gone in a direction. All the pullbacks to the center. You can just short, keep shorting this until the last trade where you will have a challenge. But you don't know this is going to happen, right? So this is where early entries. You can see the pivot is being held. This pivot was generated by the bid and ask analysis. Trend is finally confirmed here, and it goes on and on and on. All right, thank you very much. Hope this was useful. Talk to you later.